Welcome back, and now we are gonna look in more detail on the information sources that made it possible to quickly deliver the information about the contaminated drinking water to about 40,000 people. Social media today not only connects us worldwide, but neighbor to neighbor in the community. We are basically online all the time on different types of media as LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X. Now, this was used when the alarm came or the analysis came back that there was a possible bacteria threat. An SMS was sent out from the region to mobile phones located in the areas that could be affected by the bacteria contamination. In parallel, of course, the region also contacted media, that is the radio, TV, the newspapers. And together there was basically a communication circle between all of these parties that I believe very quickly got the information out and, most importantly, told people when they were using drinking water from the tap that they should boil the water. That is the key thing to protect health. So that message was communicated within a very few hours after the analysis came back, which signaled that there could be a possible bacteria outbreak. Day 0, or November the 8th, was the starting point of this crisis when analysis came back signaling that there might be a contamination of the drinking water. This prompted that the region went out with this SMS that was sent to mobile phones registered within the possible affected areas. And here to the right hand side you see the homepage of the region, what that was first sent out, and the recommendation to boil the water. Here on this graph, on the y-axis, you have the number of questions and comments published in helagotland.se. And that is from the day after it was known and analyzed that there could be a drinking water contamination until the 17th of November. And as you can see, on the 9th of November, or day +1, there is a peak in comments and questions, and then it steadily fades out, and the 17th of November it kind of landed. But the information got out quickly. You have a very quick response in the media. And just a note that helagotland.se is the digital forum for the two newspapers that are read in Gotland. That is Gotlands Allehanda and the Gotlandstidningen. On this graph, on the y-axis, you see the number of programs daily from the Radio P4 or Radio Gotland that was published every day. And here on the 9th of November, day +1, you had 3 programs, and then you can see it's, kind of averaging at 2 to 3 programs each day until the 20th of November. And again, I want to note that Radio P4 Gotland is a very well listened to radio in Gotland. And this graph is basically a summary to show you how the reporting from helagotland.se and Radio P4 Gotland looked. And again, there is good information already from the beginning to get all public aware that there is a problem with the drinking water. I should also note that Hela Gotland not only had questions and comments, of course, they also answered some of the questions and comments, but also had a series of articles with interviews with personnel, also helping out with press conferences and answering questions, as did Radio P4 Gotland, which has several, as I put here, publications, but also had some interviews where questions were answered during this period. There was some critical media, of course, which is very important as well. But as a whole, everybody worked together in the media to get the information out and avoid unnecessary health problems. Now let's have a quick look at the region's homepage. And I'm making this video the 25th of November, Saturday. And yesterday, the latest update was put on the internet by the region, where they still points to that you need to boil the water, and also that the problem raw water source has been identified. Also, some very important information as a consumer. It says, now we need to flush the water network, and how can this affect you as a consumer when you open the tap? Then now we'll scroll down and look at something else that is online here. You have frequent questions and answers. And basically you have one here, what has happened? And then you have a reference to the bacteria, Clostridium perfringens, and what areas is affected. And here you have headlines, for instance, this headline, what should I think of when it comes to the recommendation to boil the water? And then you have questions, and with the questions you have answered on how to handle things. For instance, can I dish in the tap water? And here you have an answer that you can do this, but then you need to do the following in order to make it safe. Now, also, during this crisis, there was a discussion in the media and some criticism about the SMS that was sent out to alert the public that there might be a water contamination. And here you have also answers to what happened and how now the region is working to, well, make this system better, because again, this was a crisis, but it was also an extremely good experience. So now you need to work on the things that didn't work so well. So I will not say so much more about the homepage. I will put a link in the description field. The crisis was contained within 12 days. That is, finding a raw water source that was contaminated, and most importantly, protecting the public by communicating that the water they took from the tap needed to be boiled before drinking it. However, there is a lot of work for the water organization to do now. They need to flush the piping network, and they need to fix the raw water source. So in this case, there will be several weeks until this work is done and we can get back on track with the water distribution. With that said, in the next video, I will give you some of my bullet points of gained experience from this crisis. But that will be the next video. See you there. Bye bye.